equally excited about this session as well. In this session today, we will delve into how we all look, how we speak, and how we all act, and how we can all use these to build a powerful presence and to lead a more successful life in all spheres with one of the topmost image consultants of India, Ms. Samira Gupta. But before I introduce her properly, let me say a few words about Sipping Thoughts. Sipping Thoughts is a multi-platform media company co-founded by my good friends Sukirti Gupta and Neeta Gudgutia. It was set up keeping the tagline, Real Women, Real Thoughts in mind. It's a no judgment platform where we want to create a network of women for women. And Sipping Thoughts is available on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, and of course on our website by the same name. About our expert now, and this is one lady I was floored by the first session I attended of hers, and this was about 2 or 3 years back. I think the lesser I can say about her, the more it is, she is somebody who's well known in the world of image consultancy. I still stammer when I speak about her, as you can all see here. Samira Gupta is a top 10 image consultants 2020-21 and has been awarded as a top 10 corporate training firms 2019-2020. She is an international best-selling author as well, The Successful Mind. Samira has trained over 10,000 professionals and worked with over 300 companies. She has personally coached over 200 people. She is a highly sought after TEDx speaker, motivational and keynote speaker as well. Some do's and don'ts, some house rules before we all begin. As you all know by now, we're all on mute, but because we would like the session to be as interactive as possible, please keep chatting with us and sending us your thoughts and questions over chat. You can also use the raise your hand feature on Zoom, but please do keep your questions coming in on the chat box as well. We will unmute you as we would like you to ask your question yourself as and when possible. Please do keep your questions related to the topic and to the point. Forgive us for any technical glitches, for as you well know, they are beyond our control sometimes. And with that, I hand it over to Samira, who will tell us how to have that powerful presence that will help us to lead a more successful life in all spheres. Welcome, Samira. It's a pleasure to have you on board with us today evening.
Thank you so much, Tina, for that wonderful introduction. I'm humbled. And thank you, Sukirti, for having me here. Both of you, thank you so much for giving me a platform to address these wonderful people. I see some very familiar faces here also, so I want to take a moment and welcome them. Anjani Gandhi. Hi, good to see you here. Hi, Anjana. Hi, Radhika. Lovely to have you here. And all of you, very warm welcome. And today I'm going to be talking about the 3 very, very important aspects of creating a powerful presence. I'm also known as an executive presence coach, but this particular program that I have curated for you today is more to do with, in any situation, how you create a really powerful presence through your appearance, which is to do with your dressing, grooming, etiquette, and body language. The second element is how we speak, which is tactful communication, assertiveness, active listening, and things like that. And the third part, being the most important and the largest of your presence, is to do with how we act. So how we behave in difficult situations, in a crisis situation, under fire situation, how do we behave in that situation? And that's what creates a character and a reputation and a personal brand that people will remember or will not remember. Okay, so let me pull up my presentation that I put together for you for today. But I normally start with this because it's important for me. And I want to ask you, did you smile today? And I ask you that question, I mean, really consciously smiled. When you woke up in the morning, what a beautiful day, yet another do something really mind-blowing. So the question is, did you smile today? And if you didn't, then this is your moment. I want you to have a smile and an ear-to-ear smile and feel good about yourself. The next question is, did you breathe today? And I'm not talking automatic breathing. I'm talking conscious breathing. So did we breathe today when we woke up? And did we take that yummy breath in, held on to that, and then released it? And if we didn't do that, now is the time. So just take a moment, sit back, relax, close your eyes. Just close your eyes, take a deep breath in. Really long, deep breath in. Feel the calm. Let the oxygen go down into every cell of the body. Hold it. And slowly release it. Make sure that your exhale is longer than the inhale. Okay? Feel the relax and calm. Relax your facial muscles, relax your shoulders. Take one more breath in, one more time. And as you breathe in, I'm going to breathe in the abundance, the happiness, success, and feel that it's going down into every cell of your body. Feel it, like really feel it, it's there, okay? And when you exhale out, I want you to exhale the anxiety, stress, anger, sadness, guilt, whatever you want to let go. Just do that. One more time. Take a deep breath in, hold it, and slowly exhale. Feel the calm. And whenever you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Yeah? Great. I hope it felt good. So I'm talking about conscious breathing, and the pattern is 4, 6, 8. Inhale for 4 counts. Take in everything that you want. Hold it for 6. Feel it in every cell of the body, and exhale everything that you want to let go. Okay? So let's go on. We are going to talk about powerful presence, what it actually is, why is it important, and how to deepen it. And quickly telling you the 3 elements, how we look, how we speak, how we act. And this is the creating a powerful presence is about amalgamating all the 3 elements. So before I move forward, asking you, what is your expectation from this session? What is it that you want to take home with you? Anything specific that is coming to your mind, please do type in the chat box. So I have come with some preparation, but I want to know if there's anything specific you'd like to take away from it. Or you can raise your hand like Tina said. All right, so as you do that, I'm going to move forward. Look at this picture. What do we see here? A cat looking into the mirror. And what does the cat see? A lion. Yeah, so we're going to do a little exercise where you will be able to identify and discover what your inner image is. In this picture, what's really happening is the cat's inner image is of a lion. However, the world looks at her as a cat. So in short, what I'm trying to say here is that if your inner image is in sync with your outer image, then you're doing a fantastic job. Okay. However, if your inner image is not in sync with how the world is looking at you, there is some inner work required. Okay, so let's do a quick exercise and find out how we can understand ourselves slightly better. So take your name and put your name down in a vertical manner. I hope you have your pen with you. Just write your name down and define yourself. Give every alphabet an adjective that defines you. Okay, so for example, how I would like to define me is I'm sophisticated, I'm admirable, I'm magnificent, I'm intelligent, I'm realistic, and I'm an achiever. Okay, so that's I define myself, and I relate to each and every adjective that I have just spoken about. So this is how I look at myself, but is the world looking at me like that? I would say I've really worked hard to get here. And now I can say that the world also looks at me in the same way. So I'd like to request you to put it down like that. Just write your name and give yourself an adjective and tell me and tell yourself how you look at yourself. What is your inner image? Okay, so just take a moment and do that for me, please. And if anybody would like to share what their inner image is and how they define themselves, I'll be happy to hear that. Okay, so I'm going to move forward and talk about how we look. Something that we've heard many times before, that you never get a second chance to create a first impression. How many of you agree with me? Just type in the chat box and say, I do, or yes. How many agree that you never get a second chance? Excellent. Wonderful. And how long does the first impression last?
Your network might be having an issue. So do you mind if we turn off your video for a little bit?
Oh, okay. Okay, sure.
Just for a little bit. We just want to stop it and you can turn it on anytime.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm just sorry about that.
Absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine. Is it better?
I hope so. Go ahead, Samira.
Okay. So how long does the first impression last? Does anybody know? And does it take the form of first impression? First impression is formed within seconds. Less seconds, you create a first impression. And first impressions last for a really long time. So what is the first impression you're creating on people?
Samira, you have been muted. Please unmute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect.
All right. So
great. Now
let's see how the see in this. What's the message Amitabh Bachchan, through his appearance, through his clothing? What's the message he's conveying? Is there anybody who'd like to type in the chat box? First impression is the best impression, absolutely right. But what is the impression Amitabh Bachchan is creating here? Oh, Amita Devraj says there is no time for first impression. And I would like to hear more about that. Ruchika, can you hear me now? Okay. So what's the message here? The message is that he's respectful and nice because body language is very approachable. Despite the fact that he's in a power suit, he's very humble. He's coming across as an approachable and a respectful, nice person. Okay. And in this picture, the image changes because he's wearing the power suit, but the body language changes. And he looks more authoritative, more formal, and more influential. You see the picture from Suits. Most of you must have watched it. And here you see how authoritative the body language and the suit is looking. So how you dress, how you groom will decide what is the impression you're creating on other people. It's very important to take accountability and responsibility of how you project yourself. If you look at this picture, the Indra Nooyi is seen in two separate pictures, one when she's receiving the award in a sari, and the other picture is about how she's dressed for work, for daily work. And what are the messages here? Can anybody tell me what messages we are talking about here? The messages are appropriate, authentic, attractive, charismatic, respectful, and so much more. Because she has a smile, she's more approachable. She also looks quite authoritative, but in a nice way, in the right picture. And she's very approachable and charismatic in the picture that she's receiving the award. So what I'm trying to say here is that through your clothing, through your body language, through your appearance, you convey a lot of messages without even speaking a word. So it's really important how we manage our appearance. And these are just some of the messages that here you see a lot many more messages about how credible you are looking, how cooperative you are, either you're more formal, less formal. All of these messages are conveyed through how you appear. It's important that we dress well.
Samira, I think you're on mute again. Please unmute yourself.
I think we have some network issue.
Yes. Please unmute yourself, Samira ma'am.
All right. Am I back?
Yes, now we can hear you. Are you there, Samira?
I'm here. Hear me?
Okay. Okay. Yes, we can.
Oh, sorry. I think it is a problem at my end because there's some issue with the DG and it takes some time and the Wi-Fi goes away. So I'm sorry. I put it on pause now.
Okay.
Okay, my sincere apologies for that. So I'm just saying that dress to impress, and I don't like that word dress to impress. We have been using it as image consultants for the longest time, but I would say dress to express. Okay, so don't impress others, but do make an effort to express who you are, what your value system is, what your culture is, who you want to be and how you want to be perceived by other people. And it's an expression of how you present yourself. So dressing well is also a form of good manners. And that is why we always talk about power dressing, power presence, and through appearance, because that portion is the largest portion how you communicate to the world. And that's why I say, welcome to the world of visual communication, because visually you are communicating too much. And why does that happen? Because basic human memory is photographic. So हम बहुत popular saying है कि जो दिखता है वही बिकता है, right? So, and how does that happen? Because you've got to be seen to be sold. You've got to be seen nicely to be selling better. So because we remember, we are visual people and we remember more what we see. So because of that, your visual communication is very important. So I have a toolkit for you. Here's your toolkit. I have created this out of the word appearance. You should be authentic, genuine, real of who you are. So that is an expression and a representation of who you are. You should always be proper, which means that, you know, you have to make sure that you are blending in. So you're standing out in your own way, but you're not standing completely out of the group. So blending in is very important, and that's what proper means here. Poised has to do with your posture, how approachable you are, how confident you are. Are you, talking to people like that, or you're leaning in, and how poised you are in your posture, gesture, expression, and eye contact. Do you look efficient? And how people ask me sometimes, how can we look efficient? If you are dressed properly, if you are groomed sharply, if you're looking ready and professional, and I would say suitable, people perceive you as efficient. So it's the message you're sending out through your appearance again. And be attractive. Nobody likes boring people. So make sure that you have some attractive element. Women can use their subtle jewelry, and their makeup. Men can use a pocket square, some other accessories like cufflinks and watch and things like that. There's a lot we can talk about, but I have limitation of time. So happy to answer questions at the end of the session. Be respectful. So we saw a picture of Amitabh Bachchan, how humble and respectful he was looking. So through your body language, convey the message. Be approachable and not very authoritative, because that will become intimidating for people that you're meeting. Be a nice person. So don't always operate from your head. Loosen your heart, open your heart, and be charismatic. Charm the world. And energy. Energy, if your energy is low and your excitement and enthusiasm is low, that's not something that will, excite the other people, because this is transference from one person to another. So if you are high on energy, it's very likely that you will create that energy in the person that you're meeting. So make a good first impression and smile a lot. Don't be a conjuice. This is the most powerful body language tool that you have. It's the most powerful. So be liberal and use smiling as much as you can. So this is a really powerful quote that I always use in my talks and presentations. Sell first if you want to sell anything, which means that 80% of any product, any service, any idea is you. And if you don't know how to sell yourself, you will never be able to sell anything that you want to sell, because your product, idea, service is only 20%. 80% is you. So get people to like you, get people to believe in you, get people to trust you, and the buy will happen. Okay. And how you can get the likability factor? Likability comes when people look at you. It's a visual, feeling-based perception. So if they like you, they look at you and say, hey, she's dressed nicely, she's very poised, and she's, she's a package. I like her. And then comes the belief. So whatever the person says, you're going to believe in that and trust, and that's how the buy happens. So my question to you is, did I make a good impression on you? Except the disturbance on the internet? Did I make a good impression? Do you think I'm approachable? Do you think I'm presentable? Yeah, I'd really like the answer to that. Of course. All right. Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you. A bit intimidating. Aha! Sukirti of all the people. All right. So we'll talk about it. Thank you. Thank you, Neetu. Thank you, Amita. Thank you so much. Yeah. So because I made an effort, I'm making an effort, continuous effort while in the session as well. I'm smiling. I'm using my open hand gesture. I'm coming forward. I'm using my tone. I'm toning it down. I'm making it softer. And I'm using modulation, but not in a way that I'm coming strongly at you. So yes, there is a depth in my voice, because that's what I teach people about, how to bring in more depth and more gravity in how you speak. But other than that, my effort is to become and come across as a person who's very approachable, confident, approachable. I do want you to take confidence from here. I want to encourage you to ask questions. Okay, so remember this, sell yourself first if you want to sell anything in life. Moving on to the next, our mission is about speaking, how we speak. Okay, so what is communication? There are plenty of definitions, but we want to talk about one simple, very, very simple, definition, that communication is nothing but giving and receiving information. And how do we do that? What are the various ways of communicating? It's one-to-one, one-to-many, public speaking, presentation, right? And email, telephone. And last but not the least is talking to self. So the self-talk. We are always talking to other people in various platforms and situations, but how are we talking to ourselves will define who you become and who you are. So self-talk is equally important, right? Now, what are the three most important elements of communication? Verbal, the words that we choose; vocal, the tonality, the toolbox that you have here; and the visual communication, which is through your appearance and your body language. Okay, so let's see how your communication has to go across. Another toolkit for you, that your communication has to be clear, complete, concise, not much English, not too many stories around it, concrete, considerate, which means respectful, empathy, delivered with an empathy, courteous, correct, and confident. So there's a very thin line between confidence and arrogance. So how you come across is very important. So I want to examine. So let's say I'm leaving for the day for work, and I tell my cook that please make good food tonight. I have guests coming in, and I leave. I haven't told, is my communication clear, complete, concise, concrete, courteous, correct, confident? Probably not. But if I had to tell him that I have 5 people coming in, and I would like you to make, chola, rajma, this vegetable, and this, and chapatis, and pulao, and whatever. So can you do time? Will you get it ready like 6:30? If you need anything, please let me know. So in that case, I may have taken extra time in explaining exactly what I want, but that effort is worthwhile because the message is delivered absolutely with clarity, completeness, conciseness, concreteness. It's a considerate message because I'm not just saying, do it. I'm saying, well, would you be able to do it or would you need more time? And it's a very firm, confident message, but it's correctly delivered. So all I'm saying is that 80 to 90% of the times, we are conveying the message in an incomplete form, with less clarity, with no consideration. And that's where the communication goes wrong. And then we say, oh, that person didn't understand. That person didn't know me correctly, because that's what happens. I want to only say that you deliver your message mindfully and consciously, and not on a default, not assuming that I'm going to say this and the person should understand, because they will only understand what you clearly speak and what you clearly say. So that's extremely important, taking responsibility of your own communication. Of course, in this picture, what you see is the fact that we don't have 2 mouths. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth. And the simple reason is that we're supposed to listen more and talk less. And how can we do that? We can be, we can listen to people. I don't want to say that we need listening skills, but we need to be good listeners. We actually genuinely need to be good listeners to understand what is happening with the other person. So body language, you can look at people and just maintain the eye contact. A lot of times people feel how to maintain the eye contact. It's almost like a stare. So make sure that you are maintaining your eye contact by looking at the person in front of you, nose above. Okay, so from nose above, you can have your eye contact in that area. You don't have to look into people's eyes, but just nose above in that location. If you maintain your eye contact, that's fine. And nod your head, look at the person and nod your head. Keep the technology out, absolutely out. So if I'm here and in between I'm checking my phone and I pick up my phone, then I'm completely distracted and I'm disconnected from you. So make sure that you are following that. I also want to give you one NLP tool here, very, very powerful tool, which is called the matching and mirroring. So if you're sitting in front of somebody, make sure that you look at their body language and try to mirror the body language. It's not mimicking, but very consciously mirror the energy of that person, mirror the tonality of that person. And once you do that, you immediately connect with that person at the subconscious level. And the other person will feel, oh, she's like me, I like her. Okay? Because that likability factor in every relationship is extremely important. So please be good. And believe in yourself is the first secret to success. How many of you agree with me that believing in yourself is the first step to success? How to strike, Nirmala, how to strike a balance with casual comfort and respect? Yes, I will answer that question. Okay, wonderful. So most of you agree with me. That's great. And why do we believe in ourselves less? Because fear and self-doubt. Fear and self-doubt always come into picture. You know, right from the childhood, when people said, oh, that child is better than you, or that child is getting better marks than you, or that person is fairer than you, taller than you, slimmer than you. So even when you heard all of those things when you were a child, a little child, those things started creating doubt in your mind about yourself. So when you start self-doubting, the first lesson and the courage and the risk-takeability and the confidence and the it is in a way. It's really important that we learn to love ourselves, accept ourselves. I sound like kiddish. If you pay attention to what's written here, it's a very, very powerful slide. It talks about being yourself, means be authentic, and not just be authentic, but
Give us a second. I think Samira is having some technical difficulty. We apologize. Just give a second.
my million apologies, Sukirti and Tina, for this, but this is beyond me. This is technology. So
we totally
I apologize.
Today
is one of those days. Today is one of those days. It's happening so often. So I'm sorry, everybody on the platform, please accept my apologies. All right, so let's talk about this slide where I'm talking about accepting yourself. Accepting myself means, when I ask people, do you love yourself? The answer is, yes, I do. I eat good food, I wear good clothes, but you know, accepting and loving yourself is more than that. It's making yourself a priority, putting your oxygen mask first. Okay, saying no to people and no to things that are eating into your energy, your time, your peace. So forgive yourself if you have done something wrong. Don't beat yourself up. It seems like I'll have to do another session for you.
Yes, you will. I know we are struggling with the voice also.
To make up for it.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I'm taking responsibility for what is happening. I'm not saying it's the internet. I'm saying I'm taking the responsibility, you see? All right.
Now your internet is fine because now I'm seeing it's all white. So hopefully it will be good from now.
Okay, I hope so. So forgive yourself, bless yourself, express yourself, trust yourself, and love yourself, which means it's okay if you've done something wrong. Don't beat yourself up. Let the guilt go. Don't have the guilt if you're unable to do things. You know, just make sure that you're doing your best. And beyond that, just let it go. Just let it go. So accepting and loving yourself is very important. Do deep breathing, do meditation. Okay, meditate whenever you can. 10 minutes, that's good enough. And deep breathing will instantly calm you down and get you focused, you know, on self more. All right. So here's what I want to give it to you. 5 things that you're proud of. And this is something that you take with you. And every day, if you can write 5 things that you're proud of, this is going to set your self-confidence up multifolds. And please make sure that you're not repeating those 5 things. And they can be as small as whatever, you know. I was putting the clothes on the drying stand today, and I did it really nicely. Everything was looking good. All the smaller clothes on one side, everything, you know, put nicely on that. And I actually said I'm proud of myself for doing that. Something as small as that. A cup of tea coming out good. I'm very proud of that. That I'm a good cook. I'm a good tea maker. I do things very well. I make my bed very well. So all of those things, you know, small things, if you acknowledge and become aware of, can boost your confidence to a really high level. So acknowledge, accept, and appreciate yourself. Use this tool and practice it every single day. So I'm at the third element here, which is to do with how we act, your behavior. And here, the biggest role that is played by is the value system. What is most important to you? What are your core values? What are your beliefs that you believe to be true? And your attitude that's coming out from there. So I just want to tell you one story. You know, there was a king who was growing older and was looking for a new heir, and decided to speak to all the kids in the kingdom and invited them and said that, you know, I want you to take up one task. So he gave them seeds. He gave them seeds and say, whoever comes back with a nice plant out of these seeds will become my heir. So all the kids were very excited. They took the seeds back and they started working on their plant. And after some time, while they were getting ready to come back, one kid was struggling and he tried his best and he could not grow even a sapling out of his seed. So very, very upset, very sad. He kept talking to his mother and said, well, I don't know what's going wrong. I look at other children's plants and they're really growing fast. And she said, no, you've done your best. Now you should go and take the pot and just go and visit the king. And he, along with other kids who had really nice flowering and fruiting plants, came back to the kingdom and was standing in one corner. So the king did the inspection. He went around looking at everybody's pot and then finally came to this boy and called him. And he got really scared. He said, now I'm going to be pulled up for not being able to bring it to fruition. And then the king called the kid and hugged him and said, you are going to be my heir. And then he revealed that the seeds that were given to all the children were actually boiled seeds and they were not supposed to germinate. So what different happened? What happened was this boy was truthful. He was honest. Okay. And he did not try to cheat. So those seeds were not supposed to germinate, but all the others did something and got the seeds to germinate, right? So here we talk about what are we made of, how we are wired, how we operate in this world, and that would really define what kind of reputation we are creating and how people will remember us. Okay, so moral of the story is that plant honesty and you will reap trust. Integrity, honesty, and courage are more important values for true leadership than the proud and untruthful displays. Okay, one more quick story. So if you plant honesty, you will reap trust. Goodness, you will reap friends. Humility, you will reap greatness. Perseverance, and you will reap contentment. Consideration, you will reap perspective. Hard work, and you will reap success. Forgiveness, and you will reap reconciliation. So in short, you know, if we had more time, I would have really liked to discuss each and every aspect. But amongst this, if you have any specific question, I'll be very happy to answer that. I also want to tell you one quick story. This is a father and the son. They were fishing one time. And after a long time, the father couldn't really catch a fish, but the boy, after some time, had the catch of a lifetime. He had the really big bass fish, okay? And when he caught that and he showed it to the father and said, I want to keep it. And we have such a big catch. And the father looked at the watch and I said, 2 hours before the bass season, and we can't really carry it. I want you to put it down in the water. And he said, no, but I will never get such a big fish and I want to keep it. And the father insisted that no, We are 2 hours before the season, so please put it back in the water. And the boy slowly, reluctantly put the fish back into the water. And what really happened today, he is a very, very big architect in the New York City. And he is known for his honesty. And he has a reputation that he conveys and manages, where people come to him because he's honest, he's truthful, and he practices integrity. So what is the moral of the story? Integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is watching. So nobody was really watching the father and the son, but they still did the right thing. So how important is that to create a really strong brand of yourself and creating a powerful presence? So I want to say, whether you are under the fire or over the fire, take a deep breath, be courageous, maintain calm, take responsibility, take that risk, and be gracious. Okay, thank you so much. I'm open for questions.
Thank you, Samira. That was such an insightful and enriching session indeed. And that last picture always leaves me gasping for breath. That activity of yours is amazing. I don't know how you do it and how you train other people to do that. I think I'm going to sign up for it sometime in the near future.
Nanika, please keep Tina Walia and Suki's name in the next list.
We're going to do it together. Together, Suki, holding hands.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Okay. And so with that, we are open to questions, Samira. And we're going to start off with the first one being from Poonkodi S. Please unmute yourself.
Yes, Samira, thanks for the great presentation. So I'd like to know, when women are in workforce, being approachable and being commendable with juniors becomes sometimes conflicting. Maintaining the balance was always difficult for me. Any tips for that?
Yes, thank you for the question first. And I would really like to see who I'm talking to you. If you can appear on the camera, I'll be grateful, because it's always better to see, who we are speaking to. But if you're not comfortable, that's all right. I'll still take the question. So if you can give me a context, specific context, it'll become easier for me to break it down for you.
So for instance, what happens is like, hello, I'm just like not so very presentable.
I think you look lovely. You look beautiful.
Okay. So for instance, at my workplace, I'm not a very hard person like that. So I go a little light. I always crack jokes and everything. So that's when I want to get work done, or when I convey something, to my juniors, they tend to take it lightly. And being in corporate, I cannot enforce them do this or do that.
Yeah.
So at the same time, I don't want to become rigid. That's not my character. So yeah, how to find the balance.
All right. So there are some rules of power. Okay. And if you are too available, for people, you are likely to lose your power. And when I say that, I'm not saying become unapproachable and unavailable, but you have to ensure that when you are with your team, it's okay to engage in a lighter conversation. However, if you start joking with them, then it's the same thing. They will say, oh, she's like us. So she's like us is great, but when you're trying to get the work done as a leader, then some distance must be maintained. So do engage with them, do eat with them, do drink with them, and spend time with them. Mainly like, okay, as you're part of it, but if you also start cracking a lot of jokes, then it's a human behavior, so they would start taking you lightly, and they would not probably accept your leadership and power so easily. So I would say that, be cautious of what kind of jokes you're cracking, how much of it is what you're doing. So just maintaining some distance is required. And that's what happens when you climb up the ladder of success. It's not something that you used to do, you will continue to do, because that's the distinction, right? You have to understand, identify, and accept.
Right.
Now you have a different role. So you have to act as per the role. So a little bit of distance, a little bit of cautiousness is required to create that presence.
Okay.
I hope that answers your question.
Yes, definitely. Thanks a lot, Samira.
You're welcome.
Okay, so the next question would be from Momita Dedas. Please unmute yourself, Momita.
Hi, Samira. This wonderful session. I, being a media teacher, I can relate to you. My question is, as a teacher, how to be a perfect, to have body language in classroom, being authoritative and also approachable to your students, like an advice from you.
Yes, that's a very good question, Momita. I think the couple of tips that I can give you is that your body language should be confident, but not authoritative. Okay, which means they should be you should not convey arrogance through your body language. They should be confident, which means stand with your shoulders upright, chin parallel to the floor, not very high, not very down. And, taking the body weight equally on both feet. So never lean onto one side. So you have a confident posture, but your tone has to be also firm, a combination of firm and soft. It's very, very important that the children don't feel intimidated. At the same time, they know that you mean business, you mean serious study and focus in the class. So your tone can do a lot for you, and there should be a firmness on your face, but definitely a smile whenever there is a need for that. Because you want to also encourage a safe environment for them to come forward, ask questions and study and engage with you. But if you become too strict and authoritative, then you will probably end up pushing them back. And the way you can start engaging them is by asking a lot of questions. The more questions you ask the children, the more they will engage with you. So see, in our culture, because we tell, they're always hearing things from parents, from school teachers, from coaches, their sports coaches and all that. Everybody's just telling them. Nobody's asking them what they want, how they want to do things, what's their learning style and pattern, and how you can help them become better students. So I think asking questions and engaging them. When I say conservative, I'm talking about, because the message has to be right. The message in that outfit, in that role, you've got to be respected for who you are. Okay, so you have to express who you are and what you're bringing to the table. So conservative outfit, you can wear trousers, you can wear saris, you can wear suits, you can wear skirts also, if that environment permits you to do that. However, whatever you wear must be conveying respect and appropriateness. And only then they will have respect for you. So what you give out is what you get. So any day, conservative and smart, confident outfit would be great. Trouser and shirt would be great with a jacket, maybe scarf, saris. And saris, when you wear, don't wear Sushmita Sen saris in Mehuna. Those are only for the films.
Those are only for films, true.
That's right. And those fancy blouses and all of that.
Yeah.
So what you do is you take saris which are cotton or silk that can be pleated well, and that they stay and they're not flowing and they're not distracting the students from what you're bringing to the table, to the class.
Thank you, Samira.
So
I would like to, connect you to my students for this wonderful session. If you permit, then I can contact you. If later on we can, I am based out of Kolkata, and Sipping Thoughts has really been wonderful in during this pandemic. I have attended their sessions quite often. So thanks, Sipping Thoughts, to give us the platform, to connect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Any other question? Thank you, Momita.
Tina, you're muted.
Thanks, Sukirti. So the next question would be coming from Amita Devraj. Please unmute yourself.
Yes. Hi, Samira, ma'am. Are you there? Tina?
Hi. Hi, Amita.
Yeah, hi. Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
I would like to come on video, but I'm lying down and looking at you, all of you.
I will have no problem with that. I would love to see you.
Yes, is it okay if I'm just lying down in bed and talking to you? You would like to see me, right?
I would like to see you, yes. It doesn't matter if you're lying down. It's fine. Thank you so much.
How is it? Is it okay?
Really appreciate it. Yeah, you're looking wonderful. See, this is one thing. Amrita, give me 1 minute. You know, what is holding us back? The first person who came online also said, I'm not looking very good. You are good. You look beautiful. You are fantastic. You've got to accept yourself in every situation.
Yes, correct. I agree with you.
Yeah, don't be selective. And don't just feel that, okay, only when I dress up and I put on the makeup.
Actually, ma'am, you know, whenever I take a photo, I'm very conscious. You know, whenever I need to dress. I can't be taking in a house dress or in anything. I'm always, even now, you know, I make sure even for a simple pic, I am dressed.
Okay.
So I have a question, ma'am. How do we be presentable on all occasions? And I have another question besides that, listening. How important is listening?
Okay. So I'll answer the first one first.
Yes.
That how do we look presentable in all situations? Okay. Is that your question?
Yes.
Okay.
On all occasions.
On all occasions. Yeah.
Yes.
So if you will make the same effort on all the occasions, you will look presentable in all the occasions, right? So it's a choice. Right now, you are in a comfort zone.
Yes.
You're relaxing, you're lying down, and you're in a comfort zone, which is fine. Which is absolutely fine.
I had asked you because, you know, I don't know how you would be feeling. I'm lying down. Normally, I don't lie down and
I don't feel it. I'm feeling good that you appeared on the camera. Because, and I'm thankful to you. Because how you, if I had said that please appear on the camera, I'm fine to see you lying down, and you still did not appear on the camera, somewhere I would have a feeling that, okay, my wish, my request wasn't fulfilled. So for me, I think I'm really happy and grateful that you appeared on the camera. Okay, for me, it doesn't matter. I don't judge anybody anymore. There was a time I used to do that, but I've come a long way.
Nowadays, never to be judgmental, right?
Absolutely.
Though we sometimes, yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
and
so
about
I
listening?
would say, I still haven't finished the answer to the first question, Amita, is that every morning when you wake up and I asked you to smile, I asked you to deep breathe, okay? With that, you are setting a pact for the day. And when you set a pact for the day, you also want to look good, feel good, and then do good. Always. And looking good is not for others and for other occasions. It is actually for you. The person you look into the mirror.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's the
first.
And
you know, me too. I'm also an IELTS trainer and into communicative English. So, you know, I always, love dressing up. Do you have any extra tips for that for students? Like, what is the actual sense of dressing in teaching?
As a teacher or as a student?
Yeah, teaching. Yeah, as a teacher.
I just told Momita. I just told her.
Actually, I teach in a center, in an institute. So my level, I teach IELTS and communicative English and also personality development and grooming to aviation students. So I have a different level of students.
Yeah.
All in a higher level. Yeah. So what would be the right dressing? I love dressing. I always dress well.
Okay. So here I would give you a concept. I would say dress to the level 4. And level 4 means that you will wear a trouser. I don't know if you're comfortable. Do you wear a sari? Do you wear Western outfit? But if you wear Western outfit, then you have to dress level 4. Do you wear Western outfit? Trouser, shirt, jacket?
Yeah. Actually, I don't wear sari. I wear all the other dresses.
Okay, great.
Sari is occasionally. I'll never wear sari and take a class.
Sure.
All the other dresses I do. So.
Sure. All right. So you can wear the level 4. And when we say level 4, we talk about a fully matched suit, a nice shirt with the collar, and maybe a scarf, maybe a pearl necklace. You know, that's level 4 dressing for us, because that will create a very strong presence, very powerful presence, that you mean business, you mean, you know, you're pretty serious and you're taking control, because you need to have some level of authority there also. And you're dealing with, you're preparing people for an international platform, right? So you have to make sure that you are conveying that kind of powerful presence. I would say level 4. And don't go for a black color, because black is high power. You don't want to create high power given the nature of your work. So you wear a navy blue or a charcoal gray color suit, that is a match suit. Shirt can be white, light pink, all light color shirts, but can be light pink, light green, light yellow, light mauve, whatever, any other color, and or a white shirt. Okay, and a pearl, simple pearl necklace with pearl studs would be great, will be an add-on. All right, I see. Thank you, Amita. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, so the next question is by Nirmal. Please unmute yourself.
Hi, Nirmala.
Hi, hi everyone. Hi, Samira. That was a lovely, lovely session, and we've got so many questions. I think you should definitely have another session here. And I had 2 sets of questions. I'll just give you a 1 minute background. I used to be in the corporate segment. I was a banker at the middle and senior level. So now that I have stopped working full time, I gone into consultancy, and then I'm struggling with my image dress-wise, and what should I project? Because in the corporate life, I was more into saris, silk and cottons, and, you know, so that took care of it. And I have put the other question also, where I'm slim built and I'm short. So the saris sort of build up the personality and volume around me. So now I'm struggling what sort of attire I should be wearing. So that gives me a powerful personality, a powerful presence, because I tend to look small and slight in Western clothes, or even in a salwar kameez. So that's what I'm struggling. And I'm struggling with how to appear casual, comfortable, but respectable, and have a good presence with my small size. So if you could help with that.
That's a lot of questions, Nirmala. Let me try and answer one by one. So first of all, when you say I'm small and petite and you know, shorter in height and whatever that is, I want you to delete all of that from your mindset and stop saying that because I'm small, because who decided that? And what's the comparison? I can't say when I stand next to Tina, Tina is really tall and very, very, you know, powerful presence she has, but I can't feel small in front of her, right? If she's taller and I'm shorter, that does not work. So first of all, you have to accept yourself and appreciate yourself for who you are. And I'm not saying you don't do that, but I'm saying that stop repeating the same thing again and again to yourself. And if you wear Western outfits, if you wear suits or trouser and shirt, or maybe a skirt and a top, or you know, cigarette pants and Indian outfit, collared kurta, anything will look good on you, as long as you use your body language to create power. Because a lot of times it's not your structure, it's who you are. So we have heard this, right? Pocket size powerhouse. And how does that happen? Because even if you are short and petite, you will ensure that you take your space. You know, you expand, use that. Wherever you stand in a way that people say, oh, kaun aaya? You know, who's this person? So there is a presence felt. So use your body language, use your communication, and use your presence to create the impact. So you can wear any outfit. Don't just feel that wearing a sari will create that because you're depending on the sari. I'm saying take the power in your hands and not give it away to the outfit. So use your body language, use your posture, use your voice. and create that power. I hope that answers.
Well said, Samira ma'am, as always. So with that, I know we could go on and on, as Nirmala said.
We can take one more question. I think Shilpa is raising a hand for a very long time.
Okay, great. Shilpa, please unmute yourself.
Hi, good evening. Thank you so much, Sipping Thoughts, for holding this session. And thank you so much, Samira. This was absolutely amazing. So I have been into anchoring industry since 15 years. And now I myself into getting into image consulting and lifestyle consultation. So I would really like to know that, Samira, do you have train the trainer programs?
Yes, we do. In fact, I have recently launched one, and I will have the details shared with Tina and Sukirti, and they can then share with all of you that I have a program that has come up, and this is on a very popular demand that people say we want to learn from the person who's created the success. I said, fair enough. So we've come up with a program. It's called the Transformation Coach Program, and I'll share the details with you separately. I don't want to take into this time. And thank you so much for taking the session, Shilpa. I really
thank you so much. I'll get back to you very soon, Samira. Thanks a lot. Pleasure.
Most welcome.
Thank you so much, Samira ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Want to go ahead and answer some more? We can go on.
Okay, 5 more minutes.
Okay, great. Thank you. So the next one is from Anjana Mukhopadhyay. Please unmute yourself.
Hi, ma'am. Good evening. I am not switching on the video, personal reasons, but I have a question. It was pleasure hearing you. I just have one question, ma'am. How do we choose the color code for ourselves? Generally for the daytime or for the afternoon or for the evening?
So Anjana, I would love to answer your question, but unless I see you, I will not be able to.
Ma'am, honestly speaking, I'm not in a position to switch on my video. Otherwise, I would have. Honestly, I'm not in a position to do it. I would have. Otherwise, I'm very sorry. My apologies for that.
That's all right. I'll give it to you. So how do we choose colors? It will depend on what your personal colors are. So as image consultants, we work with our clients on personal colors. What is your color of the eye? What's the color of your hair? What's the color of your skin? What is your role in life? What is the goal you have in life? And based on all of these, we select colors. Okay. So the rule of thumb is that during the day, use lighter colors, and during evenings, use darker colors. And always have a combination of light and dark. So if you're wearing a salwar kameez, that's fine. But during the day, go for lighter shades, especially now in summers, go for the pastel colors.
Okay.
And for evenings, you can have darker shades. So that's not an issue at all. Depending on where you're going, what's the occasion, how you're expected to dress and all of that.
Ma'am, on this thing, eyes and hair is brown in color. And a little stout.
Anjana, I'm really sorry, but this is a question that needs personal consulting.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
Tina, you would agree with me on that, right?
Yes,
okay. Done.
Ma'am, there's a very interesting question which has come up from Sangeeta Srivastava. Sangeeta, please unmute yourself. Sangeeta?
Hello, ma'am. Hi, ma'am, my question to you is, how do you create this voice modulations? Like few tips if you could share.
Yeah, so we have this toolbox here. This is called our toolbox, and we are not using it enough. We don't use the toolbox. So we are just talking in the same tone, in the same old boring manner. Okay, how can we change it? By bringing in pause, silence, modulation, emphasis, the right pitch, the right pace, and all of these things become so important in your communication. But we have to consciously practice. One, you have to become aware that these are the things that are available right here with us, but we need to unlock it. We need to open the toolbox. So if you tell me something, I will demonstrate it to you. Okay, let me tell you. So I would say Sipping Thoughts is doing a great job, and they have brought so many people together, and they have passed on so much information. So Sipping Thoughts is doing a great job. These are only words. Okay, let me combine the modulation into it. Sipping Thoughts is doing a fantastic job. Now let me put the body language in. Sipping Thoughts is doing a fantastic job. Sipping Thoughts is doing a fantastic job.
It registers.
Do you understand how the combination of words, voice, tone, and the body language can create the impact?
Yes. Ma'am, someone had suggested me ki, like, you watch these news, right? So if you just keep repeating, you get those voice modulation. Like, is that really work?
If you watch the news, do they speak on the news? Do they really speak on the news these days?
I don't, ma'am, but someone suggested, so I was just clearing my doubt on it.
I would say that if you want to watch the good voice modulation, go for some good TEDx talks. TED Talks, okay? That's where you will learn it from, not from the news. I don't think they are speaking anymore. They are arguing more than speaking. And I don't want you to become an Arnab Goswami or someone like that. So, if you really want to learn good way of modulating your voice and creating an impact and emphasis on how you want to communicate better, watch some good TEDx talks. Okay. All right. So thank you so much for having me, Tina and Sukirti.
Thank you so much for being here with us, Samira ma'am. It's always a pleasure. And every time I hear you, I always learn something new. And I'm sure that our audience also has got many takeaways from today's session. And we would love to have you back with us.
She's already promised, Tina.
Yes. So I'm just reminding her of her promise. So yes, with that, I'm so thankful to you for extending this session beyond the few minutes that you promised us. And so yes, thank you so much, ma'am. And with this, I bid our audience good evening and till next time. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.